Thank you so much for coming in and for watching. My name is Abel. I'm your host for tonight, and this is the You Are Able video series where I invite inspirational, creative, awesome people to be my guests. And we always choose a topic that is under the You Are Able theme. So it's meant to be an uplifting video series where I can connect with people during the quarantine period, because for me it's very, very important to connect with people as well. And let me officially introduce you to the viewers. And thank you so much, Naomi, for joining. And more people will come in and out of the chat. But let me introduce Joel officially. Joel is my friend who teaches currently at the school as a drama teacher, but he is an American theatrical director, writer, actor, and you're a producer as well, right? And you have a very long title.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Hi, Steve. So what I admire about you, Joel, when we spoke at Sky Lake Club, was that you were very genuine to me, and you were very calm, and I feel that you have a lot of stories to tell, that you have a lot to teach, and there are qualities that I admire about you that I aspire to become. So that's why I think that you are definitely an influencer to me. Anyways, it's not about how much numbers you have on your pages. It's about how you influence people through, what you do and who you are. So that's why I wanted to invite you and to learn from you and to talk with you. And for me, for those of you who do not know who I am Abel. And I created this series because I wanted to meet and learn and connect with people that I admire, people who I think have something positive to share, and people who show an able quality. So it's supposed to be uplifting, motivational, and it's supposed to be something positive, especially for this quarantine period. Now, Joel, I know I have been talking a lot now already, and you chose a really, really good topic. Your topic is never quit trying. And when I see this topic, the first thing that came to my mind was resilience. And, being an actor and a writer and a director, and I'm sure you were in the entertainment business, is that correct?
Well, yes. I kind of created the niche that I'm in right now. So yes, that's what I do. I do theater full time.
Exactly. So you are in the entertainment business, and you are in a creative industry. And, creative industry, which I'm also in, I've never been in theater. There's a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of yes and no's from people, especially you're trying to get roles and things like that. Is that what you mean by never quit trying, or what is it that you mean by never quit trying?
Okay, well, I have to say that I didn't always have this motto. In fact, I quit for a period of about 15 years of my life. I just did other things. I went, that was a wild goose chase or whatever. It never amounted to anything. So I did other things, and it was quite interesting how other people, and this is I think in life we ought to keep our ears open to a degree to other people, and closed to them to a degree too, because when they're speaking discouragement and give up and quit, then don't listen. But when they're saying things like, what happened to me, just to make a long story short, was after about 15 years of doing no theater and thinking I would never do it again, and that creative part of my life was over, I was in the Middle East. I was actually living in Syria, and I got a job at a language center. We went, well, as soon as we went to Syria, we were invited by UNICEF to go to Syria and do children's theater there. And but then they told us, well, we can't give you a visa for this, so once your project is done, you'll have to leave. But in the meantime, we'd really started to love the place and think, wow, this is a place we really want to stay and want to work with these people, because they were wonderful people, and we loved the country. And so I went to a language center just to get a job to give me a visa as an English teacher, and they looked at my CV, and this was happening over and over during this time. They looked at my CV and say, "Oh, you do theater. Can you teach theater?" And so everybody was asking me to do it. So after 15 years of not doing it, I was suddenly being asked to do it again, to teach, and to direct, and to put on shows and things like this. And so I put myself back in school. I went, gosh, I've forgotten everything. So I just started getting books and training myself all over again. So I know, and I never taught theater. I'd done it. I'd been an actor, and I'd been a writer, and I'd done street theater. I'd done experimental theater. I'd done conventional theater, Shakespeare. And I'd done all these kinds of things, but I'd never taught people how to do it. So I had to go back to school and study how to do that. And just one thing led to another. So that our whole period while we were there, we did the children's theater, and that was mostly in Arabic language, which we had to learn. And then I started teaching acting classes in this language center to young Syrians, and we started putting on plays, and it started getting pretty good. And so after a certain amount of time, I was approached by a TV production company to do a role in one of their series as an English-speaking British consul and things like this. And so then I started watching who else was acting as English in English roles, and found that they can't act and they can't speak English. I've got so many better people than this. So I said, look, I can give you better people than you've got for these roles. And so I became an agent along with everything else. So I was acting in TV series, and I was in one Russian one, I was in a Tunisian one, I was in Egyptian ones, I was in all these different series and things like this, playing different. I was a doctor, I was a consul, I was many different things. Awesome. And then I was one time I was a South African intelligence officer. That was in the Russian series that I did. And okay. So it just one thing after another led to another, and suddenly I was in. And then of course the trouble came there, and it was a sad thing for us, because we had a good life going there, and so we left. And but after people started pulling me into it and asking me to do it, I thought, well, that must be a sign from above. I'm going to do this. But then after that, I learned that I also learned something, that it was what actually in many ways stopped me from carrying on and continuing in the theater, is because I was so terrified of failure. I was terrified that if I failed, that then I would be finished. People would look at me and say, "Oh no, he can't do it. He's no good." So I was always tense, which is death for an actor, and for any. You have to be relaxed. You have to be confident, and I just didn't have that. But then after this time of about 10 years, when I was forced to do a lot of theater, I just thought, well, I failed sometimes. I've done some bad stuff. I've done some good stuff, but I just never need to quit. I can just keep going. Whether you fail or you succeed, you just keep going and doing it, because for me, it's what I love. It's what I've always loved. I was stage struck when I was 5 years old, and it's been ever since then. Oh, you want to hear my story?
Yeah, it's meant to be for you. No, that's a great story. But I wanted to tell people that, any successful people, or anybody who strives to be successful, and success can mean different things to different people, obviously. But everybody has to fail. Everybody must fail. It's part of the human process, right? It's just part of the learning, right?
Well, I learned that a failure can be a fall upward if you learn from it. It's actually, sometimes it's better than a success.
Yes. Exactly, exactly. Because if you don't fall, how can you learn to get up, right? And obviously we hear this all the time. Kids have to fall how many times before they learn how to walk, right?
Exactly.
And and
Exactly.
and you learn to be stronger mentally when people tell you how to improve too, right? So it's never you're never staying at the same place, because if you stay in the same place, then it's death. It is
Yes.
literally, it is death too in that sense, because you're so paralyzed from fear that you cannot really live a full life, right?
Right. No, it's that's very true. It's
Yeah.
very true. And well, the wonderful thing about theater is you can't stand still. You're never it's never a job that you're doing the same thing day after day after day. You're always doing something new. Once
Right.
you've done this, then you go on and do something else. It's always challenging. It always keeps you alive, and so I love it that way.
Okay. Well, Naomi, we have
Um,
a question for you, Joel. Naomi
yes.
asked, this speaks so much to me because I actually went to college for acting. I just don't feel a
Mm.
lot of confidence. Can you give some advice on that, please? So, can you give some advice to Naomi?
Yes. All right. Well, I guess never quit trying. That's the best advice. But there is a neurological reason why it works. You know, we all know the saying, practice makes perfect. But it's there's a neurological reason why that works. Is why we can learn to ride a bike, so later on you never have to think about how do I ride this bike. Your brain is hardwired. So when we do something over and over and over again, our cerebellum, which is a smaller part of the brain, but it's really, really active and it's creative, says, aha, they want to do this. So let's make some neurological connections so that to make it easier on them so they don't have to think while they do it. And so the more you do something, it's almost impossible not to get better if you just keep doing it. I when when I started back in theater and started doing theater back in 2000, I thought, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm a director, I'm all, but I'm not an actor. And I was forced into doing that. And I thought, oh, I can kind of do this, you know. And from then, I just have always done it since then. And and you can just always keep getting better because if you keep doing it, it's if you stop, you can't go playing tennis once a month and become a good tennis player, or once a week. You've got
Right.
to just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So Naomi, I would say find a way to do it and keep doing it, and you will gain confidence. And maybe I mean, I still have stage fright. I still have stage fright. I was nervous before we started this show, and you know, I was like, "Ooh, what if I blow it?" You know, I still have this fear of failure in me, but you can overcome it because actually the fear and the nervousness is adrenaline, and so you can, and so it's like football. Sports players learn to say, they're often asked, "Are you scared?" They're playing a big game. Are you scared? They said, "We're excited," because the adrenaline you're receiving for excitement and for being scared are exactly the same. So you can just convince yourself this is excitement. It's not fear, it's
Exactly.
excitement. And I'm going to
Exactly.
use it to make me do a good job. And so you can channel fear and make it work for you.
Exactly. And let me add to that as well, Naomi. Um, whether you're a man or a woman, before you go on, you will always have some excitement. You will always have some kind of nervousness or even fear. But what you need to do before you get onto the stage is you need to prep. You need to process the
Yeah.
information. Plus, it's very important to have positive self-talk to yourself. Excuse me, positive self-talk obviously is to yourself, but we tend to allow our minds to criticize us. Oh, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. You are blah, blah, blah. You label yourself like, oh, I'm not a good actor. Oh, I cannot call myself a presenter yet because I haven't done it for more than 8 years. And I didn't dare really to publicly call myself a presenter until after 8 years. Yeah, because I was thinking that if I boast about myself, then that is not, uh, then I'm not being humble, which is in Asia, you need to be humble. You cannot be, egotistic and boosting. And I care a lot about my perception too. I care too much before. I a little bit less now. I care too much about what people think of me. And that is something that is self defeating because
Yeah.
when you are creative, hey, when you are creative, when you're an entertainer, an artist, like we both are, you have to zone into yourself and not worry about what other people think or say because it's not about them. The performance is about what you, as a talent and as a human, is emitting. So you are just delivering a message through you, if you think of it that way. And so don't link, oh, I'm gonna fail if I don't do it like this or I don't do it like that. There is no this or that. It's just your way. Yeah. And you, like Joel said, you try to give yourself opportunities to improve, to learn, and do not have these self-defeating thoughts. And breathing exercises is very, very important too.
Yes.
But there
Yes.
are steps and processes that I can help you with if you want to in the future. And we can talk about that later if you like. But there are many things that you can do that can help you to gain more confidence in your acting. I have stage fright and I get nervous. I'm super creative, but I've always felt held back by other people and myself. Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you, Naomi. I totally get it. Um, is there anything else you want to add, Joel?
Well, yeah. One thing about these voices in your, first of all, people will tell you things. Sometimes they'll tell you good things, along with telling you something negative. They may say, "Oh, I didn't like that because of this," and you go, "Well, okay, I'm not going to listen to them. I didn't like it. Okay, they didn't like it. It's not for everybody. Whatever I did, but maybe there's something good in what they said. But only take that. Don't take the discouraging part. Number two is the voices in your mind. There's an exercise you might be able to find by Augusto Boal called "Cops in the Head." And because we have cops in our head telling us, "Don't do this, don't do that. You'll never, yeah." And we have to overcome those guys. We have to learn not to listen to them or to channel them in the right way. But you can look it up in. I'm sure on YouTube there's exercises on cops in the head. So that's something that we have a whole exercise built around cops in the head and how to overcome them. So. But you just can't listen to it. If you want to if you love acting, you love creating, then you just have to say, "I'm not going to listen to that," And because you have Dustin Hoffman. They were saying, you have restaurants in New York City that say Dustin Hoffman swept here. Not like George Washington slept here, but Dustin Hoffman swept here because he was living hand to mouth before and this is what so many actors have done. And people were telling him, "You're too short, you're too ugly, you're never going to make it." And then he lands The Graduate, and the rest is history. And The Graduate, he was cast against type. It's not even the type that's supposed to be according to the book. But Mike Nichols saw, "This guy's good, I'm going to use him." So somebody's going to believe in you somewhere along the line. So just you keep believing in yourself. You have to do that.
Exactly. And Naomi, it's not selfishness. You've been taught the wrong way. It's the people who call you selfish is just trying to keep you in a certain mindset so that they can use you for them, for their benefit. Okay, whoever that may be. It could be your parents, it could be your partner, it could be somebody. But I was told that too. When I was against what other people would say, even people who loves me, they say that I'm selfish. And let me tell you, it's not selfish, it's self-love. Of course, you are not throwing away your duties as a mom. Let's say you're a mom. Okay, I don't know your background. Let's say you're a mom. I'm not telling you to, not being a mom and stop being a mom and fly to New York and, become an actress. That's a little bit, that's a selfish, okay? If you kind of throw away your duties of being a mother.
Yeah,
You chose to be a mother, yeah? But if you do not
she is
have,
a mom.
yeah, if you do not have these kind of, oh, you are a mom. But if you do not have these obligations, or, okay, you are a mom, but you can still be a mom and you can still act. Yeah, you can still do that. It's called self-love because obviously you're talking to us because you feel that you have a calling in your heart. Your heart tells you that you need something to make yourself feel fulfilled. So that's why you're here. And I think that's why you need to erase those thoughts, just like what Joel said. You know, certain people will say certain things to you because they do not understand either. They do not understand what is good for you. And they want to keep you for them so that they can use your energy and use you to help them. I mean, that was my
Mm.
case, anyways. When people say that I'm selfish, it's because they were trying to manipulate me to do what they wanted me to do so that I do not follow my heart and I do not do what I want to do. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's your case, but you have to love yourself first before you can love and give to others. And there are cases of selfishness, but you have to understand your own situation. I cannot, tell you, but I would think that if somebody call you selfish, then that is not a very positive thing to say to you to help you, anyways.
And Naomi, get in touch with Abel, but also you can get in touch with Theatrics Group and Joel, me, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
This isolation and quarantine is coming to an end, so let's see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly. You can contact us. Obviously, you know us. But let me continue on with Joel now and ask you the third question. I know you have a lot more to teach, Joel, a lot more to say, a lot of stories, but besides telling me never quit trying, what is the ultimate lesson that you want to teach us today based on your entire life of experience? Because you have a lot of experience, you've seen a lot of things, you met a lot of people, you had a lot of successes and setbacks. What is a key lesson that you want to teach us today?
Well, I guess one of the things has to do with age, because of course by the time I got back into theater, uh, there was a temptation to feel like it's really too late. You missed it, you know. And of course, I don't expect I'm going to become a Hollywood star or become famous or rich or any of that. But I'm doing what I love to do, and I didn't. And the thing is, today, okay, I was, I was already getting up there in years, and now I'm really getting up there in years. Although I don't feel it. I don't feel like I'm 71.
We all are, Joel.
Yeah.
Together.
But there's no limit. There's no age limit. There's no age limit in anything you do if you're passionate about it, because passion has no age. It's only bodies that have age. So I would say to anybody that there was a fellow here, and he got in touch with us, and he said, and he was 70 years old, and he said, I've always wanted to act, so can I audition for one of your plays? And so he joined us, and he was good. He got better. He played about 3 different roles with us before he passed away. But I talked to his sons and his wife, and they all said his great passion those last 2 years was the acting. He just loved it. He was in our murder mystery, interactive murder mysteries, and other plays and things like that. And so it was so encouraging for me that this person who dreamed all his life of doing this and never had, that, in his last 2 years got a chance to do it. So it's never too late. I think that's a really important one. And what I said earlier about listening to criticism, but not too much. Don't let it drag you down. You can filter it. You can filter criticism. I mean, somebody who just says, "Oh, you're terrible, give up." Well, I'm not going to listen to that guy. But the person who says, that was really, maybe you should try something more modern. I love the classics. I would, if I had my druthers, I would do a lot of Shakespeare and everything. But I know that that's not what most of the audience out there is looking for. So I've had to adapt to that, and people have advised me that way. And I go, okay, that's good. Also, sometimes people tell you things that you have to be open. They tell you things you never thought of. Like right now, I'm doing a YouTube channel of stories for children called Just So Mr. Joel and Miss Miriam, because my wife also does songs on it. And that was a friend of mine, Guy Wisnia, who said, he said, hey, why don't you, during this quarantine, why don't you do some stories for children? You're an actor. You'll probably do pretty good. So it started very simply, and it's getting more and more, and we're doing one a week. And it's something I love to do. And I wouldn't have chosen it myself. And so sometimes the voice of others can be guidance. But you just have to have a filter there. And I think that's the most important things.
That's great, because not everybody knows what you want in your life, but people can always share what they have in their thoughts. But you, who knows your own heart, is the one who have to decide what to listen to and what to listen to. And it's very, very important to listen to your heart and not your head too much, because your heart is the place that gives you the clearest instructions. And you know, Naomi, I think right now, because technology is so great, the phone is the camera. And you can use this tool to help get yourself out there. And you can practice to be more confident, you know, just by filming yourself on the phone, which is very easy that you can do. What tips do you, okay, I'm going to send you a link, Naomi, because I had two guests before, Joel, who talked about listening to your heart. One is Kitty Young. I'm not sure if she is watching right now, but she was one of the person who talked about how to listen to your heart. And then there was another guest too. So I'll send you the link later, or you can go to my website, findyourvoice.asia/video, and you can see all the past videos. And one of them from Kitty Young is going to give you tips on how to listen to your heart and not just to your mind. Yes, that's good. That's really good. Thank you so much, Joel. I think what you said was completely correct. We have these perceptions, we have these boxes that the society try to put us into. Say, oh, you're too old for this now, or you're not pretty enough for this, or, you know, whatever restrictions that they tell you. I've been told so many things like, oh, you don't fit our job, you don't have the right look. Well, because I know that I'm not a model, but I wanted somebody to represent me and to manage me for, you know, finding me more jobs as a presenter. And nobody, zero modeling agencies wanted me. So I got rejections, but the thing is, I didn't understand how to market myself. So instead of just marketing to the modeling agencies, I talked to individual companies. I talked to event organizers, and event organizers where it struck gold, because the event organizers are the people who hire talent, like myself. So you have to try different ways.
Yes.
People to know you, right? It's not just like one place. Nope, cannot. Oh, I'm nothing. I can't. I'm not good enough. Blah blah. You are enough. You have to try another way. So try another way. Try another way. Try another way. Try another way. Talk to friends. You know, ask people. Ask people how you can grow your career, because all you need is opportunities. And if people do not give you opportunity, then create it yourself. Do a video series like me. This is not easy. I mean, this is not simple. I'm sorry. This is very simple, and it's not difficult. Just invite guests, organize, do some marketing, and talk to people. I mean, you can do something online too. on YouTube. So you don't have to do it like this, but try. Start something and don't wait for anybody to give you an opportunity. To create the opportunity yourself and create it. It doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning. Just create it and make it better along the way. You'll meet people like Joel, you'll meet people like me who will give you some tips, will help to push you along the way to make you feel capable. And for example, I admire Joel because I can feel and hear his passion when he talks to me. And he continues to invite me to his events, which I haven't been able to, but he still continued to invite me. Yeah, it's not like, some people are so sensitive. You say no to them once, they never invite you back. But Joel keeps
Never quit trying.
Yeah, Joel keeps inviting me, and it's not about. I think you have a thick skin too, right? You're not kind of like, oh, I take it personally, and maybe Abel don't like me because she's not coming.
Yeah.
Some people think that on their own, right? I just so like I can see the resilience in Joel by the way I interact with him, the feelings that I get when I speak with him, the energy is positive. And that already means that you are an influencer in my eyes, and I'm very, very thankful that you are my guest tonight and that you have given
Thank you.
us
Thank you very much.
this great tips. So, and thank you to Naomi and Kitty and Steve and Kyle for joining, and anybody else that I missed. Thank you so much for watching. Is there anything you would like to add, Joel, before I end our chats? Would you like to invite people to go to your YouTube channel or anything?
Oh yes, I'd love to. If you would like to look on, especially if you have children, if you would like to look on Just So Mr. Joel and Miss Miriam, there's songs and stories that we've created for kids, and we hope to expand into older audiences in the future. But just go onto YouTube and look that up, and like Theatrics Group on Facebook and find out some of the things we do. If you like it, then you'll be notified of all of our events once we get to do events again.
Right. I'm sure it will be soon. But
yes, seems to be.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Joel. I really
teach online classes in drama, by the way. I also teach classes, live and online classes in drama, also.
Awesome. So, Naomi, if you want to connect with me, I can help you. We can do a free half an hour session at the beginning, and if you want to continue, I can help you to build your confidence. But thank you so much. This is going to be taped, and this is going to be on my website, findyourvoice.asia/videos, so you can go back and take a look. Once again, thank you. And my next guest is this Thursday, and my guest is, oh my goodness, my brain just froze. Who is my next guest? Is it Kyle? Yes, it's Kyle. Sorry about that. Kyle is actually live right now with us, and Kyle is joining me this Thursday, 8 p.m. Thailand time, and we're going to talk about Rise Above Challenges. So please join me, Kyle, this Thursday, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you there. Yes. Hope so. Soon.
Okay,
bye.
Have a good night.
Night.